What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of a Cold One Podcast. You already know it's your boy Big D. Unfortunately, my boy L Dottie could not make the show today. He's taking care of some business. So that means that y'all get me 100% to yourselves. So, hey, it's all lit, man. But, hey, we got some good content coming for y'all today. Hopefully, everybody has been having a good week, getting ready for this long-ass weekend. Well, probably not long enough, but, you know, it is what it is. But, hey, we about to get some drinks in. We about to get some talks in. I'm saying we got some shit to talk about today. And as y'all come in, make sure y'all check in below, comment below, let us know where you're tuning in from. Give your shout outs. I'm saying you want to shout out your baby mama, your baby father, your baby mother, sister, cousin Tracy. You know what I'm saying? Do what you gotta do, and I'll be more than happy to post it up so everybody can see it and all that stuff. But first and foremost, make sure that y'all are subscribed to us on YouTube. So subscribe to us at a Cold One Podcast on YouTube. Appreciate all the love. Everybody that already kind of showed that love, subscribed and everything. As always, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all are definitely big supporters. And yeah, I appreciate y'all. So while y'all doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and get into the brew. Y'all know it's a Cold One Podcast. So first and foremost, I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all know what I'm drinking on. Make sure y'all got some in y'all cup as well. And I got me, which one I got here? I got me from the Blowing Rock Brewing Company. These are both of these beers I got. I kind of already showed y'all before, but just so y'all know what I'm drinking on. Drinking on a hazy IPA, the Cloud Rise. Yeah, so y'all see, go to the mountains. Hopefully this don't take me to the mountains. 7.2% ABV. It is a local brew. I encourage y'all, wherever y'all go, wherever you travel, make sure that y'all check out the local brews. Always some gems, typically locally, that you probably can't find produced mainstream and all that stuff. And then next, I got me a little something. And no, I'm not just talking, you know what I'm saying, calling it a little something. No, it's really called a little something ale. It's by Lagunitas. It's a smooth and silky IPA. I've also showed this one before. This the one with the lady on the can, look like she creeping. So shout out to Lagunitas. Going to give this one another spin as well. Couldn't find, I don't think I was able to find the ABV. Oh yeah, 7.5%. So two decent ABVs. They probably not gonna knock me out, but I'm probably definitely gonna be feeling good by the end of the show. So yeah, that's what I'm sipping on. Y'all comment below to tell me which one should I prop open first. Should it be number one or number two? Or it's probably, let's do this. Number one or number two? The little something or the Cloud Rise? Y'all let me know what y'all want to see me sipping on. And while y'all thinking about that, also make sure that, I already said this before, but I'm going to say it again. Make sure that y'all are subscribed to us at a Cold One Podcast on YouTube. I'm going to keep plugging that because we need the subscribers. We're trying to grow. We need y'all support, man. So please let us, you know what I'm saying, grow. Thanks to your help, you know what I'm saying? So, all right, I see a little something. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that one open. This is a sound that I love right here. Y'all listen to this. Ooh, love that sound, man. It's nice and cold, too. Hey, I know people about to start asking that. I see more people coming in. L Dottie could not make it tonight. So, like I said before, y'all got me all to yourselves. He had some stuff that he needed to tend to. But I do got a special treat for y'all, though. I do have some friends with me today. So I know that y'all will be super, super excited about that. We actually had these friends on before already. And shit got lit. You know what I'm saying? It was some great conversation. People was in love with it. We had some dope after conversation as well. So I was like, shit, you know, since I'm by myself today, I need some company. Let me go ahead and bring them back. You know what I'm saying? So as soon as they're ready, they're going to hop on as well. I'm going to wait for them to give me a thumbs up in the back. It looks like they still setting up. They, you know what I'm saying? They rolling blunts and shit. No, I'm playing. All right. So I see one person is ready. So I'm going to go ahead and bring her on. Maggie, what's going on? How you feeling?
Guys, I'm doing good. How are you? How are you feeling?
I am well. I'm
feeling
good. I know, right? It's crazy. It feels crazy going without my dog, man. Like this is different. This is different.
I think.
Yeah, I know, right? This like my bro auntie or whatever it's called. I don't know. the bromance shit. I don't know, but nah, we gonna hold it down for my boy. He probably gonna, knowing him, he probably gonna in the car be popping open YouTube and seeing how the shit going. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to my boy L Dottie. Yeah, he's okay. Everybody asking, is he okay? Yeah, he's okay. He's okay. So appreciate that. I'm sure he appreciate the love once he goes back. Because I guarantee he's gonna go back and watch the entire episode. Like that's just how he is. He was like, "Oh, bro, I gotta see what happened." You know what I'm saying? So,
well, hey, hi.
Hey, you see, they already shouting you out. You know what I'm saying? They calling you the astrology queen.
Hi,
you know what I'm saying? So yes, definitely appreciate you coming back on. And looks like your best friend is ready. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring her on. Nia, what's going on? How you feeling?
I'm sleepy.
Hold on. No.
Right.
No. No. Look, we get ready for the weekend. You gotta come on this motherfucker.
It's
turn.
Labor Day.
Word. You know what I'm saying? We got a whole weekend coming up. You know what I'm saying? 3-day weekend. Nah, I'm gonna need some better energy than that. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, introducing, not new to y'all, but she's always good to y'all, Miss Nia.
Pew, 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 pew.
I'm still
Smash
Wake your ass up. It's a Coleman podcast. What you talking about?
You just need to take a shot. It's the Coleman podcast.
Yeah, word. That's what I'm saying. Take a shot, drink something. Matter of fact, let's get into that because clearly you need you a drink. What you sipping on?
I am because I'm classy. I'm classy. I have a Whitehaven Sauvignon Blanc, something that you beer drinkers probably don't know much of.
Oh wow! Hey, let me say, I don't discriminate against alcohol. All right, well, I discriminate against like white alcohol, but I drink wine unless it's like dry wine. Then I probably won't. I think Sauvignon Blanc is dry.
This is on the dry.
Sauvignon Blanc is one of the driest.
It's on the drier side for sure.
Your tongue dry after your first sip.
I'll stick to my brew. But cheers to you. All right, Maggie, what you sipping on?
I'm sipping on because I'm classy like my friend. Mm-hmm. I'm sipping on some McBride Sisters Collection. Mm-hmm. It's a fruit rosé, but it's sparkling. Lately, I've been into sparkling. That's been my new thing.
Probably.
Okay, so wait. I've seen Brut. I've seen like the Brut champagne that people be making for the cheap mimosas. Is that like kind of similar to it?
First of all, no. Well, it's a sparkling.
I didn't mean to offend your wine. My bad.
It's a sparkling rosé. So I guess when they say Brut rosé, it's just a kind of a sparkling rosé, kind of similar to like a sparkling wine. So no, this ain't like the Corbel at the bottom.
Okay. Okay. So this the good shit then. You brought out the good shit for the show. Okay. I see you. All right. Well, I
did have a really good beer the other day. My boyfriend did not like it, but I liked it. It was called Feisty Blonde, and it was a blonde ale, and it tastes like vanilla and like it was very sweet for a blonde ale, and it was 8.6 ABV. I drank like 4 of them.
Well, turn up then.
So if anybody has ever seen a Feisty Blonde, it's like a little white girl, and she got sunglasses on on the can. It's great.
Wow. Okay. Well, hey, shout out to that. Hey, tell your boyfriend just keep giving him a try. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he need to start with something like a little more on a.
He said it was too sweet.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
He was like, it's too sweet. I want my beer to taste like beer. But if you don't like beer, that's it for you.
Oh, okay. Cool. What's that?
Let me get some then.
Oh, yeah, Nia, you were struggling on that last episode trying to drink the brew. I appreciate you though. You tried.
I wasn't struggling about nothing. I don't never struggle.
Okay, if you say so. But yeah, everybody that's in the comments, comment below. Let us know what you're sipping on. Appreciate y'all as always. Hold on, Delanda trying to get me lit. She said open both of them and get the hat where you can put the cans on it and drink them both at the same time. Fun fact, I used to have one of them joints. I forgot what happened to it. I plan on spray painting it purple and wearing it on the plots and shit, but I don't know what happened to it. But yeah, I had got one from Where'd I get it from? Oh, David Buster's. I got one from David Buster's, but yeah, I don't know what happened. All right, so Mary checking in. She says she's drinking water. That's
Mary.
That's kind of cool, but this is a cold one podcast, so
she's drinking a cold water. It's ice, isn't it, Mary?
I mean, all right, you know what? You gotta stay hydrated. I've been drinking a gallon a day, so I might have my bottle somewhere. Hold on.
Do you have the bottle where it says like "Good job, you got this, almost done"?
Yeah, it's like super motivating. I don't know where it is, but I was going to show y'all that I finished it. I think it might be in the living room or something. But yeah, make sure y'all definitely hydrate. So let me go back here. So Shannon asks, do you go back and add these beer details into the video description after you record for future references? No, but I will. I've been meaning to do that. I just been fucking up, but I definitely will go back and add the details. And Maggie, if you could send me the details over for the beer that you was just talking about, and then y'all can check the description below and get the recommendations and stuff like that. But Shannon did say she drinking rum and Red Bull minus the rum, bruh.
Hey Shannon, how was work?
Okay, so she's just sipping on the Red Bull. Okay,
sipping on the Red Bull.
Okay. Word. Hey, Delanda, I definitely drank my water. Don't judge me, okay? All right, y'all. But we're gonna go ahead and head into this topic. So today we made a bold statement. Actually, Nia actually came up with this one, and she said point blank, period. It's not about you when it comes to relationships. So we just gonna stir the pot, or as I like to say, shake the keg. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people when they first saw it, they were like, well, who is it about then? If it ain't about me, who is it about? So Nia, I guess go ahead and give like your initial views on it. Like, why do you feel as though when it comes to relationships, it's not about you?
Well, I feel like this is a conversation that Maggie and I probably have very often. I feel like a lot of the times we get into relationships falsely thinking that, the other person is there to serve you in some sort. They're there to like serve you. They're there to complete you. They're there to do all these things for you when you should be doing that yourself. Like, you need to be healing yourself. You need to be affirming yourself. You need to be completing yourself. Granted, you don't have to be like, oh, I am just like 100% before I have to get into a relationship or something like that. But those foundational and those fundamental things, like healing some of that trauma, getting like, how is somebody supposed to support you in a potential business plan when you don't even have the plan? You don't even know what direction you want to go in, but you want somebody to guide you and just tell you everything. That's not fair to that other person. I don't think that we recognize that people are they're their own people before they get into a union, relationship, commitment, whatever with you. They're their own person. They have their own background. They have their own path. Everybody has all of their own shit before they get into anything, and you have to respect that. You just have to respect them as a person. And I feel like we falsely think that people are meant to like they're meant to do something for us versus elevate or not necessarily. I don't want to say elevate like, oh yeah, well that's still a thing that you're doing for somebody. But when you come together with somebody, it should be like Maggie, what am I trying to say? Like, when you come together with somebody, you guys should naturally like just rise together versus like, you need to do this for me. You need to do this for me. I'm expecting you to do this. You got to do all these things. But it's like, okay, well, together we're just afford. Like, by myself, I was already the shit, but together it's just like,
Hey, it's like Neo said, I'm a force when we're together. No, he said I'm a movement by myself, but I'm a force when we together. So yeah, I fuck with that. Hey, shout out to Neo. That man has some hits, man.
Yes,
why he ain't?
They need to put him on the verses.
That's what I was about to say. Why they ain't put him on there yet?
I don't know who need to verse somebody. Trey Songz. I think Neo and Trey Songz would be a good verses. Don't you feel like?
I think maybe Neo. Well,
don't say Chris Brown. Don't even say it.
No, I wouldn't say Chris Brown.
Okay.
I was about to say Mario, but I'm not sure about that one.
Never. Don't.
Yeah, I think it might go better with Trey Songz.
Yeah, it would go better with Trey, because Neo would still blow Trey Songz out the water.
Yeah.
But at least it would be a fight. Don't do that. Don't.
Neo already did a versus
of love songs.
Neo did a versus already though with
who did he go against?
Eddie, I don't, because he did songs that he wrote.
Oh, it was like producer against producer.
Yeah, because he wrote more songs than he.
Oh, but he did it against like somebody who really like wrote.
Was it against Teddy? Oh, see, Shannon even.
No, it was against John to Austin.
Yeah, John to Austin had way too. He was writing for like Tony Braxton and all that other stuff. It was just kind of like.
Well, no, I want to see a versus with him and just like his songs that he actually sang. Who like? Because I know he write mad people shit. I think he even wrote for what, like Beyonce or something.
Irreplaceable.
Yeah. So like, yeah, he Shalice says he did a versus. It was good. I bet. You know what I'm saying? If it's from a producer or a songwriter standpoint, I'm sure it was dope. But yeah, he said, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that line was powerful. Like, I'm a movement by myself, but I'm a force when we're together. So hold on, somebody Pretty Boy. Oh, not that one. Pretty Boy said Genuine versus Trey Songz.
Genuine still alive.
Please don't do Genuine.
I just playing.
Damn.
Because in those jeans, hold on, that's not even fair, first of all.
Yeah.
In those jeans and So Anxious alone blow everything Neo ever did out the water. Out the water. Out the water. Okay, that's never going to be a thing. Trey Songz stands no chance against Genuine. I maybe can say Genuine Tyrese. I feel like that's fair.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? I'm going to act like that. That's a vibe.
Word. I would like to see like a triple threat joint, honestly. Like
that's too much going on because them niggas already think it's okay to be on there for 3 years. White people are not respectful of people's time.
They're not.
Word. And it be so many people on it. Like that Brandy and Monica joint had like 1.4 million people on there.
Y'all are getting off topic.
Yeah, but I'm sorry.
Monica won that though. You sleep if you think Brandy won that.
Well, honestly, you know what? That's what's wrong with relationships these days because people don't sing and grab the air no more in music.
Yeah,
videos.
In the rain.
Word. You know what I'm saying? Like
all you doing is, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? They don't do that.
Get that head, then leave. Peace out.
No, it was funny. It was like a video on Twitter of like Trey Songz and like, no, not Trey Songz, Genuine and Tyrese, and like they had a song together, and it was like, I miss when men used to get on track and just beg. And I was like, thank you. They used to just beg for
you. Get on your knees and beg.
So is that what y'all saying? Y'all want a man to like get on his knees and beg and shit?
It's not even come on now. Now we're not even about to get into that.
No, because I was just gonna remind y'all.
First, if that's your kink, go off because that'd be pretty fire to be honest. But like we were saying before, like I don't want you not necessarily to feel so weak, but like
R&B.
But I don't want you to like beg. Like I don't need an ego boost like that. You know what I mean? And I feel like if you want somebody to like affirm you that hard to like to like diminish their self-worth so much to be like, oh my God, I can't breathe without you. I don't need, like, I just can't do anything without you. It's just kind of like, well, damn, what did you have to offer in the first place? And then with me, why do I need an ego boost that hard for you to beg for me? But at the same time, at the same token, I feel like now in society, people are so anti showing emotion. You know what I mean? Like anti being expressive in the sense that, you know, I am interested in getting to know you. You are a very beautiful person. I feel like, you know what I'm saying? There is something here and that we can build upon. Like everybody's so anti communicating those like beginning feelings because I feel like we live in such like a microwave society that it's just like, okay, you know, like, I don't know, you know, like if somebody says, oh, I like you, it's like, okay, well now we have to get married and I'm not trying to do all that and and all this other stuff. And it's just like, no, like somebody can like you for like a month and then just kind of decide that it might not work out. Like enjoy that journey. Cause we just had this talk yesterday with my
talking to
trying to enjoy the journey versus like, okay, let's get there, let's keep it moving, like let's keep it pushing, but relaxing and just enjoying the journey, because like just because you like somebody doesn't mean y'all have to like lock it down like tomorrow. And then even then, when y'all do finally lock it down, enjoying that space and enjoying the journey in all stages versus like, I feel like we're just so used to like fucking people and dipping that it's just we don't allow that space for that build up to the climax or romance, or you know what I'm saying, being like, everybody's like, oh, I want to be pursued and things like that, but it's just like, well, let somebody, you know what I'm saying, get to like you first, or let somebody like, get to know you, and let that enjoy that natural progression of a relationship, and just enjoying the journey in general, as cliche as it may sound.
Word. So go ahead, Maggie. I think you was about to say something.
I agree with but I also think it's one of those things, especially in society now. You have so much access to so many people that, like, I guess our parents didn't have, or just hell, even people who are like 35, 40, 45 didn't have. Like, it's almost like, hurry up and let me make a decision on you so that I can move on to the next person. Whereas like back in the day, before there was dating apps or social media, like you knew who was in your city or where you went out to or whatever. So it was like, it was a more limited pool. So you would kind of, and I think it's a catch-22, because it's like, you would kind of stay with people even though, because you were like, oh, I don't have as much access to people. But then at the same time, you worked on things a little bit harder. I think now it's like, I can stop talking to you and start talking to somebody else within like 20 minutes, because I can get on a dating app, I can get on Bumble, I can get, on social media and shoot my shot with somebody who lives across the country.
But so, is that completely bad though?
That's what I'm saying. It's a catch-22, because I don't think it's bad, because I think you're not stuck, but I also think it does have its downside, where it's also kind of like you almost cancel people for no reason sometimes, just because like you could be talking to somebody and like, let's say the conversation ain't flowing as much as it was a week before. You might be like, okay, I'm ready to move on because I need to hurry up and figure something else out, because I don't want to waste and then you get into those spaces where it's not like, it's like, if you knew that there was not somebody else waiting that you had access to in 3 seconds, you might really sit down and, vibe with this person and allow that to formulate more organically and create more of an organic connection. Now it's like, I meet you, I have to like you within this amount of months. If I'm not there, then there's another guy, or I'm talking to a bunch of different guys before I even meet the person that I want to be with. So I have to like you within. I do think it's a catch-22. I do think it's like, it has its upsides, because I know I'm not stuck, but then it also has its downside where it's like, I know I'm almost too fluid now at this point. So it's like, I can head out, period. So.
Word. Cause I think to that point, I think that it's bittersweet, because somebody was posting on social media, I think it was the other day, like yesterday or today or the day before, something like that. But they were saying that
yesterday, like, today, the day before.
Hey, you can shut your ass up. But no, for real though, they were saying like basically social media, like the social media age is great because it is provided so many opportunities for people to have platforms. Shit, my show, being able to be hosted on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? I'm not having to pay for this, you know what I'm saying? I'm able to monetize this, businesses are able to launch, more artists are getting discovered, online. Like it's a lot of pluses. We're able to keep one another informed outside of the, news bullshit that they spew every day. So we're able to, tell the truth and stuff like that. But hold on, time out. Hold on.
Did you comment on your own?
How the fuck you gonna comment? You on the show talking about you drunk. What the fuck? Wake your ass up. But
we'll get drunk in like 20 minutes.
Word.
Yeah.
But no, it has its pros, but then also the other side that may not be so favorable is the amount of access that we have to people. You know what I'm saying? Even like on a celebrity level, like we have like direct access to their lives. Like every time something happens, like it used to be like you had to depend on the paparazzi to maybe catch a picture of something. You know what I'm saying? And you could speculate what's going on. Versus now, you pull out a smartphone and you can record, every dramatic experience that's happening to a celebrity, and it be worldwide, literally in minutes. You know what I'm saying? When it goes viral. Same thing with, your friends. It's like, it's dope that we now have that access to one another, but at the same time, now people feel entitled,
yes,
to an extent, because don't let you be on social media and you
back in time.
Yeah, now people pissed off.
Back in the day, you would have not knew what I was doing, and I just called you when I got around to it. But it's like, oh, you can post on social media, but you can't tell me that, because that's like, I should have access. You feel like you are entitled to me 24 hours a day unless my eyes are closed.
Right.
Sleep. Like, no.
Right.
And it's like sometimes you almost have to feel like you have to police your social media or certain things that you have going on so that people don't get mad. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's like, well, now I can't post that I'm hanging out with my friends because I didn't text you back.
Right.
But it's like, we're not on that level yet for me not to be able to, give me a second, I'm going to text you back. Give me an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours.
Right.
Why do you feel like we have to be in communication all day, every day? Like,
y'all air signs are vibing too hard on this right now.
Thank you. I'm so happy
to also understand who's talking right now. Two flighty ass air signs. You ain't trying to be held out by any means.
And I think air signs live their life the best.
Air signs, as soon as you press them just a little bit, it's like, pew, I'm out of here. Then leave. Peace out.
Then leave.
Bro, I just really don't like feeling like I can't breathe. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I love today's topic, because it's not about you. You know what I'm saying? And when I say relationships, you know what I'm saying, I mean like all relationships, platonic, romantic, you know what I'm saying, early dating, where it's in that weird phase between friendship, platonic, and intimate or whatever. Like, it's not about you. It's about both parties. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's about everybody involved. And I think sometimes we look at these relationships and we're so focused on, is this serving me? Is this bettering me? Is this making my life better? You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, those are all questions that you should ask of, whatever type of relationship that you're entering, even professional relationships. But at the same time, it's not like that's not all it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you still have to consider the fact that this person deserves their space. You know what I'm saying? This person deserves your effort. This person deserves for you to show them some type of intimacy and some type of romance and just that basic, good treatment of another person. And so sometimes we get so, laser focused and tunnel vision on what that should look like. Hell, people talk about relationships now, and every time you see somebody say hashtag goals or something like that, it's usually something that one person is doing for another. You never really hear people saying, I can't wait until, like, you never hear somebody saying, I can't wait until I get into a relationship so I can do XYZ for someone. It's always, I need a man so they can take out my trash. I need a girl so she could buy me a PS5. You know what I'm saying? Like,
trash took out right now.
Okay. Shout out to the men that take out trash. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, that's not the whole picture. Like, that's not the whole relationship. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't about you. Like, that's it. It's not about you. So
I think you posed a good point when you said people deserve their space.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that is a real thing, especially in the beginning stages of a relationship. I think, or just even dating, people can sometimes, I know I felt like this, feel smothered, and the smotheredness can become a turn off, because it's like, people do deserve their space. Like, me liking you, me being interested in you does not mean I have to now sacrifice all of the space that I could have potentially had. And there is a balance, of course, of prioritizing somebody and showing them that you're interested in them. But like, people do deserve their space. Like, I can't be your whole day, all day, every day. And people deserve, if I was living in a house with my parents or with my roommates, I would go to my room from time to time, right? So it's like, because I deserve that space for myself, to be by myself, to reflect on my things, to decompress in some way. And it's not just going to work and coming home. Like, so the concept of like, oh, I go to work, especially in the beginning stages. I think so much of it happens. People get smothered so early on. And I think that's why sometimes people feel like relationships are so much work, because it's like in my head, I clock out of work and clock into talking to you all day long. Right. Or hanging out with you all day long for the rest of it. And so it's like, it gets to the point where in your head, you're like, damn, I just want to be let it occur organically, and we can kind of then allow it to have its own space. Let the fire kind of start to build, and I'm going to want to naturally give you more of my time, more of my energy, but it's like, I feel like so many people just, I know me in particular, I can sometimes feel smothered when I'm first starting to date somebody, because it's like, oh, why you ain't texting back? Oh, where were you? Oh, da-da-da. And it's like, I'm not anywhere. Like, I just deserve my space in this moment. Right. Give me my space. And then you kind of feel that like smotheredness, and then it's a turnoff. You're like, I don't have time for this. Like, I if this is what's dating is too much. And I do think even in that space, that's why a lot of people are in situationships or are just talking to somebody forever, because it's like, damn, if this is talking, I don't really have the energy to, like, if this is talking, I don't really have the energy to continue and make it more, because I'm already giving this person so much of my time. Now I'm supposed to, like, I can only imagine what the next step is going to be. So let me just stay talking to them and just, not having those strings attached or whatever. But yeah, no, I completely agree. People deserve their space. People deserve their space.
No, the fuck they don't.
Yes. Go ahead and tell us why people don't deserve their space too.
Well, okay. So this is my question for you all, right?
Hey, because by the way, Maggie was just preaching just now. I just want to say that. But go ahead, Nia.
That's why men don't want to be in relationships, because people be deserving their space. They be like, dang, I gotta clock out and clock into you now with you all day, every day. And I gotta tell you pretty every 15 seconds. And I got it like, ooh.
Yeah, tell me I'm pretty every 15 seconds, because I need to be the light of your life, and
I need to be your whole world.
But for real though, like, my question for you all is that, like, how do you find that healthy balance of showing somebody affection, you know what I mean? But then also acknowledging and respecting somebody's space, because I feel like a lot of the time we operate on each end of the spectrum. It's like, I either need my space or I need you in my business and filling up all the hours of my day. So how do you find that balance?
So my thing is, I think it's one of those things. I'm about to school y'all on a little bit of like nutrition. I know this is weird.
School them, bitch.
But so it's called like, so life is about balance, period, right? But sometimes it's like when you get off balance, I feel like you either go into like a restrict cycle or a hella excessive cycle, right? And so a lot of the times what happens when, people need space is because they probably felt smothered in a certain period of time by somebody, right? It's typically like, if we're going naturally on this, and I agree with Brittany about boundaries, if we're going naturally on this kind of balance, once the balance teeters off, I'm going to teeter off to the other side. So once let's say me and you are dating, right? And all of a sudden you feel some type of way, you feel like I'm pulling away, right? You're going to like start pursuing the hell out of me. And then I'm going to feel smothered, right? So I'm going to like restrict you. And then you're going to keep going. And so it's just going to kind of feel like, dang, I'm being smothered and you're feeling like you're not getting enough. And you go on this cycle of like, so then I'm going to overdo it. And then I feel like I'm giving too much energy when I could have just stayed and veered the course of like walking this fine line between the boundary and like having those boundaries.
And you know what you're going to do? And this
thanks, pretty boy one.
This is generalizing, but usually what happens is you end up calling Nia ain't shit.
Yeah,
because you feel like you did so much and so much and so much, and she's like, you did too much. You know what I'm saying? Like it's usually, and I think that's where. And Rhea kind of just touched on. Well, Brittany said the first thing is boundaries, which I 100% agree with. Then Rhea said, I think it all boils down to compatibility, which is a word I say all the time. Find someone whose communication patterns and cadences align with yours. But I always say that, like I say compatibility like it's my fucking middle name or something. But one thing that I have been learning, because I've been dating, and I feel, yeah, I'm gonna get a little personal or whatever, but I feel like I've encountered like amazing women. You know what I'm saying? Great women. Typically, our ideologies align. You know what I'm saying? Our overall views on shit align. Our goals in life align. The things that we're looking for and the things that we want, et cetera, align. But when it comes to actually executing everything, it's like we're on completely different wavelengths. And so it's like, okay, well, I like who this person is. Like, they're dope as fuck. Our communication for the most part is great, but it's just those certain moments, like you said, Maggie, where like there's certain times, like time periods where you just feel smothered as hell.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think for me, if I feel like, because here's the thing, like it's weird because I'm like very affectionate. I'm a very affectionate person. You know what I'm saying? I'm very verbally expressive of my interest and my affection. You know what I'm saying? Like when Nia said, tell somebody, she wants somebody, and I know you were joking, but you said tell them that they're pretty every 15 seconds. I won't do it every 15 seconds, but I'll probably do it every 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
I'm pretty all the time. It's so nice.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just the type of person, like I just like, verbally affirming people. And it's possibly because I like to be verbally affirmed and not necessarily just tell me like I'm fine as fuck, which I appreciate all y'all that think that I'm fine as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all on the show. No, I'm playing, but you know what I'm saying? I like, verbal affirmation. You know what I'm saying? Like words of affirmation is my top love language. So I like to be told that I'm smart, I'm intelligent. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like I'm a hard worker, I'm ambitious. Like you see my progress on something. Like I love all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And so I give that naturally, but it's like I can, like that part could be perfect. Our ideologies can be perfect. What we want could be perfect, but it's just like the actual execution and like the expectation of communication frequency. Yes. And the pressure in terms of, oh, you didn't talk to me, enough today, and I'm like, look,
I'm tired.
Yeah, I had maybe an hour where I actually felt like talking to anybody, and I spent it all on you. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I'm sorry, but come back to me, please. Come back to me. Please.
Are you gonna remember it?
Yes, because
so you remember
my life right now. So
we're
talk about it.
Okay, but yeah, it's like that's an issue that I typically run into, and it's like. I show effort. I have no problem with like, doing the simple shit that women, always say they want, planning and executing a date,
Y'all simple.
No, I'm saying it's simple. Like it's not hard. Like, people argue about who pays for the date and all. Like I never have those actual discussions in real life. Like I just pay for the date. You know what I'm saying? Like I ask you on a date, I take you out. If you're comfortable with it, I pick you up, I pay, all of that shit is like just like putting on my shirt in the morning. But it's just like balancing that space. And I also have the same issue with my platonic friendships as well. Like a lot of times I run into, it's like people just want so much of you. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you want me to be ambitious. You want me to have shit going for myself. Okay. I can't be a bum. I got to have a certain level of income. You want to see that I'm active in my community. You want me to be compassionate for others, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like, okay, well, that's what the fuck I'm doing. So I don't have, tons and tons of time to like just sit here and talk to you all day. Yeah, we can sit on FaceTime, but I'm probably not going to be making eye contact with you all like the entire time that we're sitting on FaceTime, because I'm also here on my computer working. You know what I'm saying? I'm also planning meetings and shit. I'm also doing this and doing that, trying to secure multiple streams of income. I'm managing my podcast, planning for that. Like, it's so many different things. And it's like, women love that. Women always, say, oh my God, I love me a boss man that's about his business and booked and busy and blah, 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 until he's actually busy.
Booked and busy.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like, I don't know. It's like finding that balance where it's like, just because I'm not spending every single free moment in your eyes talking to you, or showing you affection or showing you interest or whatever you want to call it doesn't mean that there's a lack of interest. Doesn't mean that I'm making a lack of effort. You know what I'm saying? It's just, and usually it's because it's expected so early on.
So early on.
It's like, it's hard to go from me being single today to me meeting you tomorrow. And now because we've met and we clicked, our first conversation was amazing.
My whole life changes.
Right. And it's like, bro, like, no, there should be a gradual shift. Like,
you telling me I'm crazy.
I'm just saying, like, it should be a gradual shift. Like, it shouldn't be like now because I met you and we vibing.
Organically happen at the pace that God has deemed for it to. I shouldn't have to go from like being dead single to being like, you're my world in like a week and a half. Like, yeah, it'll happen and it'll get there. And yeah, like we'll get there. But it's like, it's that expectation so early on that just makes you want to not want to do it. You know how you about to wash the dishes? And like you was about to wash the dishes, but then your mama come and like, you need to wash. And you were about to get up to wash the dishes, but now you don't even want to wash the dishes no more because you're like, I was gonna do it, but like now at this point, since you're pressing me, like you've taken the joy and the fun out of me. It was already on my to-do list. I was already gonna call you today, but now that you made a big deal about the fact that I didn't call you until 10 p.m., now I don't want to talk.
Right, exactly. And it's just like I can't go from single to relationship like overnight. Like it has to be a gradual, over time. We spend, like. We might meet today. Today's what? Thursday. Or we might have met yesterday. Yesterday's Wednesday. Today's Thursday. We talk a lot today. We might get some texting in, get a good FaceTime call in, you know what I'm saying? And then, we might plan a date for sometime this weekend. You know what I'm saying? We might even see each other twice. This is a 3-day weekend. We might see each other twice. You know what I'm saying? We might have lunch one day, dinner another day, or we might go bowling or some shit, have some drinks, like whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then next week, now every single day, if we not talking all damn day, if I take 2 hours to respond to your text because I'm at fucking work, like you want a man to have a job, then it's like, oh, you acting funny. I don't, or God forbid, the first day that we meet, I just happen to be off work, or it might be a light day at work, so I have plenty of time to talk to you. But then I actually am busy as fuck next week. And now because I'm actually busy as fuck and I can't just sit there all day and hold my phone in my hand, now it's like, oh, you acting different, you acting funny, you feel different, your energy is off.
Your energy is off. Are you even interested? Do you even care?
Yeah, and it's just like, bro, like I'm very communicative. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem expressing how I feel. If anything has changed, trust me, I will tell you. If you want to know, ask me. I'm very, very transparent in that regard. But it's just like, people, that's why I say, like, it's not about you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to make sure that both people are good. You know what I'm saying? You have to make sure that you're respecting other people's time and space and give people a chance to miss you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're talking all day, every single day, and then, you know what I'm saying, I finally finished working, but we done text all day. I told you every single thing that happened throughout my day, and I'm like, all right, let me call Shorty. Hey, what's up? What you doing? The same thing I just told you I was doing 30 minutes ago.
And I told you everything that happened to me the whole day. So
now, so I can't ask how your day was. I can't ask, what happened. You can't tell me no crazy stories because we've been texting about the shit all day. So it's like, bro, like it's like where's the balance? Nisha says she should have been on this. Nisha, I'm about to message you the link. I want you to come on because I do think that you will be.
Come on, Nisha.
Yes. What was you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, like, what if, like, because Rhea said something I feel like that was really important. Talking about attachment styles. What did she say? Oh, she said attachment styles. People who don't have secure attachment styles are drawn to each other, and then in their dysfunction. I feel like that is a really important point. But I feel like y'all are vibing extra hard right now, and I feel like I feel some type of way about it.
So happy
I just feel like that's just one perspective. Like, what if you are genuinely somebody that like likes that communication?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not even a matter of you affirming me or like affirming or securing your spot in my life or anything like that too early, but like I'm just genuinely somebody who is stimulated by that communication. And then it's just like, okay, am I wrong? Because I feel what y'all are saying. You don't want nobody to feel like they pressing you or anything like that. I feel like that's fair. But at what point is it like, do you like maybe y'all aren't communicating enough? You know what I mean? Like,
I have a question.
I'm mentally stimulated by constant communication. That's part of what makes me attracted to somebody, that constant communication. Not saying that you got to tell me all your life traumas on day 2, then on day 3, you got to tell me you want to marry me or no shit like that. But it's like, what if an hour out of your day just genuinely isn't enough for me? Like, because, and then, but at the same time too, I'm willing to give you more of my, like, I'm willing to give that too, because that's also what I want. So it's just like, what if that's, and then at the end of the day, it may just boil down to compatibility. But it's just like, if I'm somebody, I enjoy talking all day, and then we're gonna find something else to talk about on the phone. Then we're gonna talk about bullshit all day. Then we're gonna talk about something else on the phone. Then we're gonna talk about bullshit or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I bet you got toe gym in your toes, nigga, because you be working hard. You know what I'm saying? Stupid shit like that. But that constant communication, what if that is something that is genuinely stimulating to you? You know what I mean? And it's not even a matter of pressing you like, what the fuck are you doing every 30 minutes? Why you're not responding to me? It could be an hour or whatever in between. But it's like, if that constant communication is not there, then I'm just in limbo.
Yeah, no, I think it really does boil down to, and I think Rhea's spitting facts in the comments, is it's not what's right and wrong. It's for sure what's right for me and wrong for me. I do think, because don't get me wrong, I'm gonna keep it a band. I don't want you to forget about me, period. Like, the day doesn't need to go by. I know we're vibing super hard on, I need my space, but like, again, I don't need you to disappear. And I don't ask you where you went or what you did. It's been 24 hours. It's been all day. For example, if you're going to work, you don't have to text me while you're at work. You can say, oh, good morning, headed to work, have a great rest of your day. You can text me after you get off of work. Let's say you have a bad day at work and you say, hey, I had a really bad day at work. I'm probably just gonna go to bed. All right, good night. It don't, to me, have anything to do with, and I think where it comes with, what does communication mean to you? And also kind of understanding what is the motive behind it that you are looking to find. Because, I think certain people need a lot more space than others. Don't get me wrong. When me and my boyfriend first met, it was very clear to me, hey, you are my priority. Hey, I am communicating with you. Hey, I'm letting you know. We weren't kiki ha ha on the phone all day long, of course. But when you had free time, you would check in, whether it was a phone call, whether it was a text message. I would get my good night text. I would get my good morning text. We would have those little conversations on the side. And so I think that was the case. And as we got more involved with one another and started to get to know each other, we had a couple of dates, a month went by, whatever. It started to organically be, we on the phone all Saturday, or we on the phone all Sunday, or I think where we're coming from is that initial expectation of, you just met me 2 weeks ago, so now you need to dedicate all of your free time to me. And I think that's kind of where it is. And at that space, it gets to the point where, as a person, if that is just genuinely how you want to date, I think that it's fair, because I do think it comes down to compatibility. But I will say that, like, you do have a point where you kind of have to intrinsically understand, like, what, because, for example, I'm on the phone all day, every day, to be honest, not with my boyfriend, but I'm on the phone all day, every day with my friends and my other people in all those spaces. So it's not like I'm just sitting here and I don't want to talk to nobody. But again, I have friends that I do need to speak with. I have, families and other things like that. I have work. I have, what I'm saying? All these other spaces. So it's like, in my head, I don't really have I don't really have a bunch of time just to dedicate to this one situation. So I do think it comes down to a point where you have to realize, like, am I looking for that constant communication because I'm bored? Because if that's or is that how relationships have always been done for me in the past? And so now I'm kind of like, oh, bet my high school boyfriend and all my boyfriends in college used to be on the phone with me all, because I feel like at a certain point we are also grown now, and it gets to a certain space when you're 25, 26, 27, 28, where people, like Dee was saying, I don't got hella time in my day. I'm working towards a bunch of different things, and I don't want that to be a reason why we not vibing, if that makes sense. But I do think it gets to a point, and if it comes down to compatibility, then it's just compatibility. But I do think most men who hey Cree, oh hey guys, hey everyone. But I do think it is. Yes, I do have a man. I do. But it
hey, look, you upsetting the people.
Oh, that's yeah. I was like, you said
right. So Cree can get on.
Cree, come on.
Oh yeah.
Maggie, finish your thought.
But yeah, no, I do think it does come down to what is the communication prove to you? You know what I'm saying? Like, and if it is internally not I want to be, because I think some people are like, I want to be the apple of your eye. I want you to worship the ground I walk on. I want the sun to revolve around me and your moon to revolve around me, period. If that's how you determine whether somebody likes you is how much communication that they're giving you, and you feel like, then I think that that's something that that should be reevaluated. Like if somebody has made it clear that they like you, but they're busy, then it's just kind of like bet. But
so what are you telling my business on this?
But I'm just saying, like, somebody who's like, listen, I don't believe you like me until you wake up in the morning and you call me on your way to work and you call me on your way home and you call me for the rest and we fall asleep on the phone together. Then at that point, you have to reevaluate, to me, what does interest mean to you at your grown age of whatever age you are? Because I do think that that's a very, like, you know, collegiate, young way to assume that somebody's interested in you. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the times it's like, hey, I'm busy, but I really like you.
Right. And so honestly, I think that everything that y'all are saying is very fair. Nia, what you said is very fair, because some people like they definitely just want that constant communication.
That whoop my ass though.
Ghetto. This is getting real ghetto.
Oh my god.
Hey, but no, I feel like, and that's why y'all see the first word right here is balancing, because I still feel like it's a balance. You know what I'm saying? Because again, there have been days where I've spent literally the entire day talking to somebody, laughing, like just talking about all types of shit. You know what I'm saying? Even the toe jams between their toes, like Nia said. You know what I'm saying? Like we done talked about everything under the sun. You know what I'm saying? Like and that's cool. But the days where I can't do that because I'm literally, you know what I'm saying, executing, you know, whatever it is that I have going on in my life, or shit, I just may not be in a mood to talk that much. You know what I'm saying? Then like I need you to be understanding when I express that, and not take it as, oh, you're saying you don't want to talk to me, you don't like me, so you feel differently now. And it's like, no, it's like you might have wanted to eat steak on Monday, right? You might have wanted it, and that shit was good as fuck, nice and juicy. And you was like, you know what, Tuesday I could really go for another steak. That shit was busting. But Wednesday you might want some fucking salmon. You know what I'm saying? You might want some chicken. You might want some shrimp. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. It don't mean that you now hate the fucking steak that you just had for the 2 days. It's like, okay, I had some steak, but maybe I could go for something lighter now. You know what I'm saying? And then maybe Friday or Saturday, I might want a burger. You know what I'm saying? It's still beef, but it might not be as heavy as some steak. Like, it's just like, bro, it has to be balanced. And I don't think that there's anybody that can honestly say that you want to spend every waking minute of every single day in communication with somebody. And I also feel like I have to have boundaries, you know what I'm saying? Because in order for somebody to have that level of communication with me, that level of access with me, we basically married. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to have that much access to me, You know what I'm saying? If you want like I have to check in with you every single time I'm free or whatever. Like I feel like that's relationship, you know what I'm saying, benefits, you know what I'm saying, relationship access. When we're dating, you know what I'm saying, there has to be something different.
That's important because I do think that is important because a lot of women, I'm not even gonna say women, a lot of people don't have a designation between dating versus a relationship versus an engagement versus a marriage. And it's very clearly like once we're dating or once we're talking, and I think that's also kind of how the lines get muddied and on them. It's from a woman perspective, how you end up in a situationship or in a situation that you don't want to be in. Because to me, completely different than being in a relationship. I have to check in. Hey, Creed.
What's good? Welcome to the show.
Deco in the trap.
Hi, miss you.
Welcome.
Dating is very much so an interview. I always say that dating is an interview. Like, I don't owe you no benefits. You don't owe me no benefits. We're just in this space of interviewing for me to get to know you. Then you have a relationship, which is why me personally, I don't think you should date for a particularly long period of time. I really think, 2, 3, 4 months of dating is enough for me to determine what are we doing here. But I do think a lot of the privileges that people want when they first start dating somebody is very much so relationship privileges. Like that access, that check-in, that accountability is very much so relationship status. I remember when I first started dating my boyfriend, I was like, I started checking in with him pretty consistently. We got to that point where we were checking in with each other pretty consistently. And at a certain point, I said, okay, well, we're going to have to get into a relationship because there's no reason why I'm checking in with somebody who's not my official man. I'm not doing that.
Right.
So it got to a particular point where I was like, so when are we hitting this next step? Because there's no reason why I need to tell you when I'm headed into work, when I'm on my lunch break, when I'm going off to work, when I'm on my way home, picture of me at the gym, and I'm going to bed, and I owe you a good night text, and you're not my man. At a certain point, you have to value, I think as people, you have to value your time as much as you value other people's time. And I also think that that's something as well, is people spend a lot of time worried about how much time somebody else is giving them, when it's also like, are we even in that space where you should even be giving me that much time? Am I giving you too much access to me, period? Rather than, I don't talk to you every day. It's also kind of like, or not that, but like, we don't fall asleep on the phone. It's also kind of like, well, are we in that point where I should be falling asleep on the phone with you, period? Like, am I at a certain point not protecting my time, valuing my time because I'm so freely giving it to other people just because I said I liked you, and this is girlfriend privileges. Then when we get into a relationship, what do we have to look forward to other than I can just say you're my boyfriend, you could just say you're my girlfriend, period.
Well, with that though, I do want to say just real quick, I do think that it is important to also understand that the girlfriend boyfriend privileges are different, you know what I'm saying, depending on who you ask. You know what I'm saying? Like some people feel like they're not cooking for somebody that they aren't in a relationship with.
Period.
I cook for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And motherfuckers fall in love like they shit. You know what I'm saying? But some people like that's like one of those things, you know what I'm saying? And that's okay because everybody isn't for everybody. And I think that's one thing that we got to keep in mind. I'm saying, like, I'm not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? You not for everybody. You not for everybody. You not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's okay for your boundaries to be different. You know what I'm saying? Because you're an entirely unique person. And I think that some people just think like, okay, well, this is what I want. This is what I expect. And a lot of times it's because that's what they got from the last, you know what I'm saying, relationship that they had. And it's not even necessarily what they truly want or need. It's just like, that's what they're used to. You know what I'm saying? And then if that person isn't doing A, B, C, and D, then they're trash. They ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? They're not into me. And sometimes it's not even like that. It's just like, yo, I fuck with you. I fuck with you the long way. You know what I'm saying? For me, I date monogamously. So if I'm entertaining you, you're the only woman I'm entertaining. But even with that, I still have boundaries. You know what I'm saying? It's certain shit that I'm not doing until a certain point. You know what I'm saying? So no, when we first start dating in the first week, you're not like my life's priority. You know what I'm saying? Like every time I have free time, no, I'm not going to use it talking to you. And that's not because I don't value or like you. It's not because I have a lack of interest. It's just you haven't earned that level of prioritization, I'm saying, in my life to where like I have to devote all of this time to you instead of maybe playing a game, you know what I'm saying, or watching one of my favorite YouTube creators, you know what I'm saying? Fuck your game, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like that is okay, and people just the entitlement is just fucking outrageous.
But yeah, also women are very giving, and I think sometimes as women we give too much of ourselves so quickly that it's almost kind of like we expect the same. Like I would cut off my hand to give you a hand if you lost, but I also expect you to do the same thing. But it's also like, who the fuck told you to cut your hand off? You know what I'm saying? So I think you get to those spaces where as women we are so giving, and we're just used to kind of giving our all to most men that sometimes it gets to a point where it's like we don't prioritize a boundary, because boundaries are not just for you, like for me to keep you away. They're also for me to protect myself. They're also for me to focus on what I want to focus on. They're also for me to be in those spaces. And so I sometimes, as women, or just people in general, because I hate to do as women, people in general who are so quick to give their time away, to me it's just kind of like, do you realize that once you give your time away to somebody, like they're in your day, they're in your life, they're in your space, and now you're so attached to this person that you just met 3 weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? And you'll do it again and again and again and again and again, and then you're exhausted emotionally, mentally, physically, because you just keep giving yourself away because you haven't set up a boundary to protect yourself, but this other person has, and now you're feeling some type of way because this person is like, hey, you're not my number one priority yet, and you're like, well, you're mine, so why am I not yours? But then it's like, why am I? Like, I did just meet 3 weeks ago, and now I'm your number one priority. Like, where are your priorities at? You don't have to bump things off of the priority list to be with me. And I wouldn't want somebody to do that. You know what I'm saying? If work and, school and decompressing and your mental health and self-care are all on your priority list, I want you to keep those on there. I don't want you to meet me in a week and then all of a sudden I'm your highest priority in your life. That tells me something about your priorities to me. I'm like, dang, he really, or if he's trying to get married like this week, like clearly, I do think as people who are super duper interested in a certain level of communication, I think communication to them means prioritization. And I think sometimes it's like, protect yourself. Don't worry about protect yourself, protect your space, set up the boundaries for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like set those boundaries for yourself to protect yourself and your attachment level to another person who might be for you or might not be for you. You don't know yet. You know what I'm saying? You just assume because you met him 3 weeks ago that this is your man. It might not be your man, or this is your woman. It might not be your man or your woman. And now you have all this time in the bucket, and you start using time as a reason as to why you can't leave them in all of these spaces. So I do think it is important. It allows that objectivity to be like, I like them, but we have a little bit of space between us for me to miss him or for me to, objectively view him. If I'm with you every day for 3 weeks, I can't even objectively view you. I'm just looking at you every day, looking you in your face. Like,
right. That? And I think for me, like the biggest thing that
Cree a chance to talk.
Hey Cree, sorry.
We
love talking about space, honey. Cree, what's going on with you? What are your thoughts?
I just think it just depends on the person. Like Cornelius, it makes sense.
Not Cornelius.
I was wondering. I looked at
D. Wait, who's Cornelius?
It's me.
Maggie is Cornelius.
Oh, word. Oh, I was gonna say. Oh, okay.
I looked at.
I just think it depends on like the person. Like what y'all are saying, it sounds good, but if one, you don't implement those different priorities in your personal relationship, then it's like, okay. And then it's also like sometimes you have people that can prioritize and still make time. So I'm a person, I'm like, you know what? There are days I am extremely busy and I'm at like 5 different events in one day. But if I really care about somebody, if I really have interest in someone, I'm going to make time. As in, I'm talking to them on the way to the event. All right, hey, look, babe, I'm about to walk to this event. I'll call you when I leave. And I feel like it's just about what you're willing to make time for. And it's a distance. So if you out the gate start like making time, don't like switch up 3 weeks later and be like, oh well, I don't have no time. Like, just be, I feel like it should just be open and it should be honest and it should be
consistent.
You're right, consistently communicating with that person, because if you go from hitting me good morning at 8 a.m. and then all of a sudden you don't hit me till 1, okay, no. It's not even about you prioritizing. Something changed, and now we need to communicate what changed. Either you started talking to someone else that spiked your interest more than me, or you, whatever you had going on. Either way, no one is that busy. I don't care what nobody say. No one is that busy. Yeah, prioritize. Yeah, you can have whatever you got going on, but when you want to talk to someone, you talk to them. When you want to do something, you do it. So I don't necessarily, like, I agree with what you guys have been saying, but then I also disagree, because I've just been that person that's been super busy and still made time because that's what I want to do. And I don't, like what Maggie said, with most women, we essentially give off rip. It's like we're giving because that's just in nature. And then you also have men that are giving, but then they also get scared and they pull back. And then it's no longer consistent. And then it's no longer what it once was. And then you have the women questioning, well, what happened? And then the man is like, well, I don't have no time. But it's like, that's not the real reason. It's not that you don't have time. It's that you're not making time, because you have the time. Like, I just don't go for that. That's not an excuse for me, you not having time, because you make time for what you want to make time for, period. On our phones 24/7. Whether we're looking at the time of day, whether we're checking emails, checking text messages, Zooming, Instagramming, Twittering, Facebooking, we're on our phones all the time. So you mean to tell me in 24 hours you didn't have time to text me or call me? Like, I don't care if you ate mashed potatoes Monday through Friday. What about Saturday and Sunday? Like,
yeah, I don't think ever going like a full 24 hours.
24
hours. That's wild. And let me, and I do want to make sure that I'm very clear about that. I do agree. Like, I agree with the notion that you make time for what you want. You know what I'm saying? But I also agree with, you're always going to make time for your priorities. In us dating off rip, you're not going to be a priority. You know what I'm saying? Just like I wouldn't expect to be a priority in your life neither. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like there's levels to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I may not
be a priority. Don't downscale me in.
But are you just not being understanding of the person's day though? Because if they make you a priority, like, let's say, okay, so for example, let's say you're dating a dude, Creed, right? You and this dude been talking for like a good little minute, right? You and this dude pretty much talk every single day, whether it's a text message or a phone call. Y'all are pretty much in constant communication with one another. Y'all might not talk every single day on the phone, but y'all are talking regularly on the phone, and you guys are texting regularly, right? And let's say that's not enough for you, and you want to talk more. Or you want better text message conversation, but that person could potentially be. So my question is, at what point is it a particular situation where it's like you just want a lot, or and that's something that needs to be communicated, or it's because I feel like you're coming from it from a standpoint, and that's what we were saying is like, for example, in a relationship, I'll never ghost you. I'll never not tell you good morning. I'll never not let you know good night. I will never not text you. I will never, but there might be a day I don't call you when we first start talking, right? And there might be, we don't talk on the phone hella days a week, but we might talk on the phone 2, 3, 4 days a week, right? But not for a crazy period, long period of time, but maybe like, 45 minutes to an hour.
We call it right now.
Now, at that point, you know what I'm saying? At what point is it like, because at that point, I feel like you're being consistent. Because I feel like we've been vibing on some, like, I need my space, but I've been pressed particularly with guys where it's like, I'm going to bed tonight. So I'll text you good night, but you'll get mad that I didn't call you. Do you see what I'm saying? But we've been talking all day via text. I just want to go to sleep because I had a bad day or I'm not in the space to have a conversation.
Explaining that, see, that's different.
But are you my man though? Like, why do I feel like if we're just here and we're just dating and I tell you good night, I feel like if I feel like I'm in the space to share that with you, then I'm in the space to share that with you. But I don't feel like I owe you the explanation to tell. Like, I just feel like it should just be a good night. Yeah, if you're my boyfriend or we're heavily exclusively dating, yeah, I can tell you like, yeah, I've had a really bad day at work. But it's like, you know what I'm saying? Do you share every time you don't feel like talking, and why to your significant, like to the guy that you're dating?
But I'm not saying if you guys are just dating, you go full-fledged, oh, I have to call you, or like you said, you get upset if he just texted you. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying the communication, you guys have been communicating constantly. The communication doesn't need to break. Like, if you don't call me, but you say goodnight, that's perfectly fine. Like, okay, goodnight, whatever. I'll talk to you later. You said goodnight. I'm not expecting you to call me. If you do call me, I'm like, well, I thought you was going to bed. I mean, I would love to talk to you, but what's tired? Like, what's really up? But at the same time, we're used to ending the day speaking. In my mind, I'm looking for a good night, or I'm looking for a call, or because that's what I'm used to. Now, off rip, I'm not gonna say anything. Like, I'm not gonna, of course I'm gonna feel away, but I'm not gonna be like, man, why didn't you call me last night? I'm not gonna like nag you. I'm gonna see if you want to talk about it later, or I'm gonna bring it up sarcastically later through conversation. Yeah, you forgot to call me. I guess you was busy or something like that, or what happened to you the other night. But I feel like that just comes with like dating. Like, I'm not expecting to talk to you every day. But once we have developed that pattern, okay, now I have an expectation, because I'm used to you waking up at 6 a.m. I'm used to hearing from you around 8 a.m. Then I'm used to hearing from you or calling me around your lunchtime. Like, I'm getting familiar with your schedule. So now it's kind of not expected, but essentially it's like, okay, where you at? Like, do I need to call you? What's going on? Because we're kind of getting into a rhythm, which if we're not getting into a rhythm, then what are we even dating for? If I'm going to hear from you today. Like,
but can I say something about that? Because I've noticed that in dating, I've been in a situation where, I'm saying, because we all know, like, generally speaking, the man pursues the woman. I'm saying he approaches her, shoots a shot, gets a number, asks her on a date, plans, pay for it, all that shit. And typically, like, the effort is heavily on the man's side. I'm saying, generally speaking, we all agree there, right?
Yeah.
So
No.
Shut your ass up. But we know, like, later down the line, it's like this. You know what I'm saying? When I just opened this can of beer, right? You know what I'm saying? I opened this can of beer and I poured it into here, right? And I just kept pouring, and then eventually the beer can is empty. This glass is full. So this is the woman, this is the man. So if I'm just constantly pouring, I become empty. What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put this can in the trash. I'm gonna toss it to the side. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's done. You know what I'm saying? It's done. It has nothing else.
Why you keep pouring into somebody that's not pouring back into you?
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. So typically, a lot of women that I've dated have accused me of a switch up because I've allowed space for her to meet me where I've been at the entire time. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, okay, I poured into you and I poured into you and I kept pouring into you. I made the initial, you know what I'm saying, approach. I made the initial effort, et cetera, et cetera. So at what point are you going to pour back into my can? You know what I'm saying?
Recycle your can.
That's how you get. Yeah. Hey, look, that's what you do in between partners. You know what I'm saying? You go back to the recycle center, get filled back up with some other shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's like at what point, like, does it get poured back into me? So I think, like, sometimes I've been accused of becoming inconsistent When really it's like, no, you're just not putting in any effort, and I'm getting burned out because I'm literally doing everything on top of living like my everyday life and shit. You know what I'm saying? And so, what's that?
I said, did you express that?
Oh yeah, absolutely, all the time. Every time. Look, anybody who dates me, no, I over communicate. I'm very transparent.
Who dated you so they can give us a YouTube review then?
Word, I should, right? I should, right?
You be talking all this hot shit and you still ain't been in no relationship yet. So
word, that's true. That's true. And let me say, I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect at all. But I do explain that, you know what I'm saying? I expect reciprocation. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm always hitting you up at let's say every morning, I typically hit you up somewhere between 10 and 12 o'clock, right? And I do that every single day, right? No, I won't test you. I hate tests. I feel like that shit is very immature, childish. But today I might be busy as fuck. You know what I'm saying? I might have a meeting, something might have gone over. You know what I'm saying? I might have had to do something, whatever, and I didn't get a chance to text you to check in because you're not my girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? But you know, today it was just a little bit different. And then you hit me up at 3 o'clock. Because you know what I'm saying, I today was just busy. You hit me up at 3 o'clock, and the first thing you say is, "Oh, you acting different." If that's the first thing you ask me, and not, "Am I okay?" You know what I'm saying? Is everything all right? Hey, you know, is today a rough day? Something like that to express that you're understanding and et cetera, et cetera. But the first thing you do is just express frustration and anger and annoyance and all that stuff. I'm looking at you like, the fuck? So you're mad at me because you actually for once had to get off your ass and meet me at the effort table? Are you serious? You know what I'm saying? So for me, that would be a turnoff.
I think, for example, like, and then this is a question for Cree and Tip. Who does the good morning text? Or, and there's people in the group too. Who does the good morning text? Is it when you wake up, whoever woke up first does the good morning text, or do you expect a good morning text and you won't text it until a certain period of time?
For me, I mean, I'm a communicator. So if I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I'm up, I extend the type of communication that I feel like I need to stay stimulated. Because what I know about myself is that, I mean, I'm a communicator. Like I need a certain level of communication for me to stay mentally stimulated, because I feel like that is one of the attraction measures for me personally. So it's like I don't try to like disrespect somebody's space, and I try to understand the, you know, autonomy of a person and themselves and all that other stuff. But at the same time, I know for me, I require a certain level of mental stimulation to even remain attracted to you.
I would send it. It depends. It depends on one, how much I like you, and then two, like I'm childish. So like if I texted last and I feel like I've been texting you too much, I'm gonna be like, nah, I'm gonna chill. Like sometimes, not. I know you said you don't like tests, but I feel like at the beginning stage, those are kind of necessary. Like,
so, but I don't think that if you, I feel like there's a difference between a test. You know what I'm saying? Like, I tell a woman I ain't bring my wallet to see if she gonna pay. Like, I feel like that's the type of test I'm saying is dumb. But I feel like it's the difference between that and, you know what I'm saying, like, okay, I feel like I'm doing too much, so let me fall back a little bit.
Right. Okay, so that's what I mean. So yeah, I'll definitely text first. Like Tip said, if I'm up, I'm gonna text you because I feel like that's cute. Like, not boyfriend.
Wake up with me on your mind.
Little heart eyes, like, hey, good morning. Oh my gosh. Hope you have a good day. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, or I'll send cute little voice messages just because I just excited in the morning. So I feel like that is me transferring like positive energy to whoever I'm dating or entertaining at the time. So I feel like, yeah, it just depends. But at the same time, I'm not about to be good morning you every day. Like, hit me with some good morning, some like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it needs to be conducive. It needs to be equal. It needs to flow. But if I good morning every day, no, I can't that.
But then it's like you got to think about guys sometimes, because sometimes in certain relationships, not you or Tip, the man says good morning every single day till like for 3 months.
like Pretty Boy said.
Like says it every single day for 3-4 months. So it's like I did hear what Dee was saying in this space where it's like, dang, I didn't even think about it, because I do think that this podcast is important for perspective purposes, because I don't think there is a right or wrong, but I do think people think differently to other people, and it's like I enjoy hearing everybody's perspective, because I can kind of see, okay, this is what somebody could potentially be thinking. Not that it's wrong thought process, it's just a thought process, period. So I see where you're coming from. So I thought it was really interesting when he said, damn, I didn't send her a good morning text for 4 months straight or 3 months straight, and the one day I don't send good morning text because I'm busy, she then texts me with a fight. Like, I sent her good morning, because I think if you're thinking about the scorekeeping, because I also think that's the thing women do, is kind of scorekeep. When you think about the scorekeeping, like who's really up versus who just think they up, because it's like who's really putting in effort versus who just think they put in effort. You know what I'm saying? Because I do think that is important too, because I never thought about that. Like, damn, like my man sent me a good morning text every single day for like 3 months. Like, that's 90 full days of good morning text. And I do remember like one time I didn't get a good morning or a good night text, and I was irritated. But it's like, dang, he's up 90 points. I'm up like 0 points when you really think about it in that space of communication. That's crazy. I'm like, dang, I never really thought about it like that. Like, you just sent me a good morning text every day for 3 weeks, and I send you one, and I'm like, woo, like I'm done. Like, I do so
much. I also realized, like you said, what's your name, guy?
D.
Now, what's your name, guy?
Okay. So
you don't know my name either, D. Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna put everybody's name back up so we all know.
Like you said, D, most of the time, 95% of the time, the man is chasing the woman. The man, like the whatever you want to call it,
the pursuer.
The pursuer. Okay, right? Because I'm like the chaser. I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like chasing. Yeah, I don't chase nobody. I pursue. Well, go ahead.
Sure, more than likely. So I feel like it comes with that level of expectation. I know we don't want to put expectations on newly dating, but you have an expectation. I expect for my door to be open. I expect for you to court me accordingly. And a part of courting me accordingly, when you know that I am an attractive female, you know that I'm getting asked for my number on a regular basis, I need for you to step up to the plate. So if it takes then that's just what it takes, because you're not the only person texting me good morning. So at the same time, it's like, going back to what Maggie said, women do we have a list. We got D, we got J, B, A, and C. So if we got 5 different people texting us,
D, B, J, and C.
Okay, who am I gonna reply to? Am I just copy and pasting good morning, how'd you sleep to A through C, and then am I actually giving a full response from D to F? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, yes, you have to do that to stand out, but I feel like you also, as a man, have to recognize when your efforts aren't being reciprocated. Because if you texting her good morning for 90 days and she hasn't even thought to text you, like, at some point you got to hold yourself accountable. There's no reason why giving somebody.
Now that part I agree with.
I agree.
So
I don't know about I'm attractive, so you gotta do that. I don't know about that part, but the last part I definitely agree with.
What?
No, I don't know. Like, I feel like you being attractive is like irrelevant to how I'm gonna treat a woman. Like, I'm gonna treat a woman how I treat a woman, regardless of.
I'm saying, when you're dealing with an attractive woman, whether she's unattractive or not, either way, whatever. Let's just take unattractive out of it. Let's just say woman. When you're dealing with a woman, she probably gets looked at, sized up, asked for her number multiple times a day or multiple times a week.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
with that, you also have to realize like
it's market demand.
Right, you gotta like put in you gotta send them good morning text messages.
I mean, no, so here's
advocate. What about the man? Like, what if you dealing?
And
with,
that's what I was saying.
What if you dealing with?
So that's what I wanted to say though, because I'm like I
thrown at him every single turnaround. Like, at what point? You know what I'm saying? Like, where does that balance? Where does that accountability lie? Not like. Because I agree with you, but like playing devil's advocate is just like, okay, so what about men? Like, what about, you know what I mean? Like, are they the only ones who are tasked with, this is what I'm going to put my energy into? Are they the only ones who are tasked with, okay, this looks like somebody who I want to do X, Y, and Z with? At what point do we, as attractive women, take accountability and say, hey, this seems like a nice guy. I'm going to, give him I'm gonna give him something to work with versus making him fight for my attention.
Right, because that's what I was gonna say. Because I think that some women, their perception of dating is like off in comparison to some men's or a lot of men's. Me personally, I could give two fucks how fine a woman is. You know what I'm saying? I've dated fine ass, badass women, you know what I'm saying? Conventionally bad women. I've had sexual relations with badass women. You know what I'm saying? All of that stuff, I could give two fucks about it. I'm gonna treat you how I treat a woman. You know what I'm saying? No matter how conventionally fine you aren't entitled to a certain level of effort or respect or anything just because of your looks, your accolades, et cetera, et cetera. So all of that is irrelevant. So I'm going to treat you just because, like, my mother raised me to know how to treat a woman. You know what I'm saying? Regardless, just point blank, period. But with that being said, you know what I'm saying? I also know my worth. You know what I'm saying? As a dope ass man, because I'm a dope ass motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? I'm approaching you with genuine energy. My energy is not going to be lackluster by any means. But keep this in mind. I'm not competing with nobody. You know what I'm saying? I'm in my own lane. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers is not me. You know what I'm saying? And that's not on no cocky shit, but I'm me and nobody else is me. And there's no competition between me and anybody else. So if a woman ever feels as though she's trying to choose between me and someone else, then she should pick the other motherfuckers, the B's, C's, A's, and all them. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm in my own class. And you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to do anything to intentionally try to stand out. I'm just going to do shit because I know how to treat a woman. And I think that some women, they get so caught up in I have to make sure that he's a good man. I have to make sure that he's doing X, Y, Z and checking all these boxes and being consistent, et cetera, et cetera. And that's their focus. And like the topic says, it's not about you. You know what I'm saying? Because then you forget that you still have to show me why you're as dope as I initially thought you were. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it eventually happens in a lot of cases. All these women are like, oh, I'm dope. All these dudes are after me. They chasing me, this and a third. What do you have to offer me? And I'm like, well, this is who I am. I'm dope as fuck. You either see it or you don't. And also, baby, what do you have to offer me as well? Not like I'm looking for something from you, but this is a mutual exchange of effort, mutual exchange of interest, mutual exchange of romance, intimacy, all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? And so in conclusion, you know what I'm saying, I feel like it's about the bigger picture. Is there reciprocated effort or not? And if there's not, then you could be bad as fuck, you can be smart as fuck, you have 15 degrees, 2 houses, no kids, you know what I'm saying, 3 dogs that are all, beautiful. I get 2 fucks, I'm out. That's just me though.
Yeah, no, and I also think it's a good point because I also think that there's also some people who can get distracted by that attention and end up with somebody who they wouldn't necessarily like. If it's a competition of who can give me the most attention, there's a lot of men who sign up for 2, 3, 4 months and completely switch up to after you have solidified your options and said like, hey, I'm going with you, it's over with. There's a lot of men who are like that. And I do think that there is a duality between men who have hella time and attention and men who are genuinely good men. Like I do think if you are a good man, similar to how what Dee was saying, like, you know your worth just as much as I know my worth. Therefore, you know what I'm saying? I think sometimes those men who give so much extra know who they are deep down in the core and are overcompensating in a certain type of way. Because essentially, like, if I know I'm a diamond and you know you a diamond, we not about to sit here. I'm not about to overgive you this and you're not about to overgive me that. Because essentially, I'm a woman. I know my worth. I know what I bring to the table. Just like you're a man, you know your worth. I think sometimes women get so caught up with men who give them a lot of attention, men who give them a lot of consistency in that space. And I think some men know the game. Like, yeah, I can give her a bunch for 3-4 months and then she's locked in. So then I can treat her any type of way, or I can switch up, or I can do this, or I can do that. I do think, like, perspective wise, just hearing what Dee was saying, because I do think that that's interesting. Like, when a man is secure in what he brings to the table, he's going to bring this to the table, period. And I'm not about to play middle school games with you to who likes who the most and who does this. I'm going to be consistent because I know how to treat a woman. I'm going to do this. But if you want to compare me rank to rank with this other person who's texting you all day, every day, all day, that's perfectly fine. If that's who you want to go with, and go with them. But if you get gamed because they know the game and you know the game and they know how the women think, then that's perfectly fine too. You know what I'm saying? I do think that there's duality between that, because I do think, just hearing what he was saying, a lot of men I do know, that's why they lay it on so thick, like early. And I know y'all know what I'm talking about, when a dude lay it on real thick for like 2 months and you be like cutting off all your options to be with this man who laid it on super thick. Good morning, good night. Let's fall asleep on the phone. Let's do this for like a month. They get what they want and then they head it on out. But it's like, because they know the game just as much as somebody else knows the game, when you know your worth, you can kind of be like, hey, nah, what are you doing for me just as much as what am I doing for you? I do think that that's interesting, because I've dealt with men who know the game and play the game hard and almost get you mesmerized. It gives you that first 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. Yeah. And so it's very interesting hearing you say that. Like, I know I'm a good man. So if you want somebody else, and if it's who can give you the most attention, you can go who gives you the most attention, because essentially I have all these other things that I'm working on and I'm not about to. And I do think that that's real, because I do think, even looking back at me being very honest and being very real, I think even looking back, I'm happy now that I'm with my man, but I think I've let go of a lot of people who had a lot of potential to be good to me, for people who gave me a lot of attention early on, if that makes any sense.
Word. So real quick, I do want to get into some of these comments, because people talking shit saying I'm ignoring comments. I'm not ignoring the comments. Y'all just type fast and then the conversation moving fast and shit. So to give y'all some time, let me pay attention to y'all too. So so Shannon said, so D, if you meet someone and she says she says on day 1 she's also dating someone else, she's on date 3 with him, are you immediately walking away? Honestly, 9.9 times out of 10, yeah, I am. You know what I'm saying? Just because for her to even, you know what I'm saying, address that means that it's possibly going somewhere. And why would I even waste my time? You know what I'm saying? And also, I'm a type of person that I date monogamously. So I'm not going to date a woman that is, you know what I'm saying, dating multiple guys, because I date monogamously and I date women who date monogamously. So 9 times out of 10, I'm saying, yeah, I'm out.
Back to what you said the entire time. Why do you deserve? It's not about you. Why do you deserve to be exclusive with her when she has someone that she's been dating 3 times? But she
hold on, time out. I said I date monogamously and I date women who date monogamously. I'm not saying I'm getting anything from her. But I'm saying it's about dating style.
But listen, you also just said you're not gonna go on another date with her because she's dating someone else. But it's like, okay, what if this is a great woman? This is someone that could potentially be conducive to your life, and you're gonna cut her off because she's been on 3 dates with another guy, but out the gate she was completely honest with you. Do you not?
I agree.
No, hold on. Let me say this.
Listen. Let me finish. Stop cutting me off. You value monogamy, whatever the word is, over honesty. Because at the same time, you can be monogamous and still be cheating mentally. So she could be dating you physically, but still be dating someone else mentally. But she took the effort to be honest. So it's like, we as people, we don't value honesty. And you just said this whole thing is about, it's not about you, but you just made it about you. Oh, well, you can't give me what I want off rip, so that means we can't date. What? That's exactly what you just said. Without without saying it. So it's like, no, that's not okay. You need to pick a stance because you could have potentially just cut off your entire blessing because she was honest with you. No, if I'm start dating a guy, and he's like, you know what? I'm dating these 2 other girls that I kind of like, but I really like you. I just want to be upfront with you. I can't do anything but respect that. I can't do anything but respect that. But because you felt you're so stuck in your way and it's all about you and you only want to date someone that's monogamous and match who you are, you're completely cutting her out. And that's not fair to her. And ultimately, that's not fair to you because she could have easily been the one. But
yeah, I agree.
Too honest, so, you don't want honesty. So then, what do you want?
So let me say this: I'm not saying that I don't want honesty. I'm saying that my dating style, what I have self-reflected and self-discovered on what I'm comfortable with and what makes me happy. Because that is still important. No, it's not completely about me, which is why I'm not saying she has to be all about me while I entertain other women. No, I'm saying I want somebody who has the same dating style as me. I prefer to date monogamously. I prefer to focus on one woman at a time. One, because it's expensive as fuck to date multiple women. You know what I'm saying? 2, is mentally and emotionally draining to deal with multiple women, multiple personalities, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? And 3, I'm just not interested because I feel like I get distracted when I have multiple women that I am courting. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just my dating style. You know what I'm saying? I put a lot into dating, and I just can't do it with multiple women. And so in return, I date women who feel the same way about dating as I do. They also date monogamously because they prefer to focus on one person, you know what I'm saying, at a time. So if I meet a woman and she's saying that she's dating 2 other guys, off rip, I know, okay, you're not a monogamous dater. So why would I waste my time trying to approach her and date her if she's already showing me that her style of dating isn't conducive to my style of dating? We're on 2 completely different platforms, you know what I'm saying? So it just doesn't make sense. And I'm not going to hop into the rotation trying to compete and convince her to become something that she already showed me from jump that she's not. I appreciate her honesty. I'm honest with her as well. And I would just say, okay, you know what? Our dating styles are just different. And that's okay. I don't believe in missing your blessing because I feel like what God has for you is for you regardless. So I don't feel like, you know what I'm saying, you're missing anything. It's just everybody's not for you. I'm not for everybody. I'm sure, like I said, y'all aren't for everybody. There are billions and billions of people in this world. So the chances are there's millions of people that you're going to encounter that you just aren't right for. You know what I'm saying? There's probably maybe not millions, but based on the statistics, chances are that shit just not going to, you know what I'm saying, shit not going to work out. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that I feel like, oh, I meet you, so you owe me exclusivity. No, it's saying that I know mentally I'm not going to be a good dating partner if I'm dating multiple women. You know what I'm saying? And I know that I'm going to be bothered if you're dating multiple guys. You know what I'm saying? And so just to be safe, be fair, be efficient in our dating process, I prefer to focus on one woman, and I prefer to her to be able to focus on one guy. And that's not to say like I cut you off forever, like, oh, you dating multiple guys, so you dead. You know what I'm saying? You trash. Because I might be able to catch you when you're not dating nobody. You know what I'm saying? I say, you know what? This is how I date. You know what I'm saying? Let's try it out. Whatever you cool with it. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But you know what I'm saying? That's just how I feel. But I do want to get into a couple more of these comments, and then I'm going to bring on somebody that just hopped on. Let me see. Shannon with the shady question. She said, okay, D, tell us how this dating style has worked out for you so far. It's been a lot less stressful. I'm sure that a lot of y'all that, you know what I'm saying, be trying to convince me to date multiple people, have had your heart broken, probably been cheated on. You know what I'm saying? Okay, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? No. I'm being no. I'm answering the question. A lot of y'all that try to convince me that I'm tripping for feeling how I feel, have been cheated on, have had your heart broken, etc., and you're still single just like I am. My style of dating has helped me to avoid a lot of that bullshit, and so it's worked out for me. You know what I'm saying? So that's just like you can't be. Some of y'all coming real salty and real spicy in these comments, so I'm giving you that same energy back. But it's all love. Y'all know I love all y'all. I appreciate y'all. Let me see real quick. Rhea says, do you take the same approach to sex? Would you go on a date with a woman while having a sexual partner? No, I date monogamously. Like if I'm dating, I'm not fucking anyone else. You know what I'm saying? I haven't had sex since January. You know what I'm saying? So like it's not like I'm not a guy that's pressed for pussy. You know what I'm saying? So no, I wouldn't be dating anyone else. Let me see. There's nothing wrong with focusing on one woman, but isn't that called exclusivity? You can call it whatever you want. Exclusivity, dating monogamously, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I don't. Now let me clarify this. I don't spend months in this dating monogamously world. Typically, I could tell within a few weeks if it's going anywhere or not. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not out here wasting nobody's time, nothing like that. But that's just, you know what I'm saying? That's just how it works better for me. Let me see.
And make sure while you in the midst of defending yourself,
Mhm.
that you also address Pretty Boy's comment talking about some.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I'm just saying.
Okay. Shannon says, we're saying, how can you expect exclusivity on date one? I'm saying that I date monogamously and I date women who date monogamously. Like I'm not expecting anything outside of anything that she already does. There are women out here who date one guy at a time, y'all. Like I'm not converting her to anything. I seek out what I want and they find me because I'm what they want. Like it's okay, y'all. I'm not changing any woman out here or nothing like that. Pretty Boy said, I'm not tripping. If she dating other people, then bet in my mind they may not.
No, he said. He said, how we know this person just not dating for free meals. Talking about women who don't.
Well, let me say this real quick.
No.
Hold on, Nia.
Because they're not even expensive.
Hold on, y'all, because I'm trying to get through these comments, and then we got somebody waiting backstage. So please, just let me do what I'm doing. Pretty Boy said, how we know this person not just dating for free meals. So let me tell y'all. If you're concerned about a woman trying to get you for free meals, if that is your concern, then don't take her on a date because you literally get to choose who you take on a date. Like no one is forcing you to go on a date. You know what I'm saying? So if you feel like, oh, she might be trying to get me, then just don't. You know what I'm saying? Anybody I take on a date, that's not even on my mind.
Keep her at the home. How about that?
Oh, okay. Let me see. Okay, y'all talking about the meals thing. Okay. Rhea, I don't know what question you wanted me to answer. Okay. Blah 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 blah. Okay, cool. All right, so somebody that said she wasn't hopping on clearly got some shit to say. So I'm gonna just bring her on the show. Nisha, what's going on? How you feeling?
Hi everyone. I look a little busted. I'm packing. Okay. I'm doing
busted
fine.
where?
Wait, before you start, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off because I have to edit this video. So it was nice talking to y'all. I love this podcast. Yay!
Love
much
you.
love, much love, Cree. Please come back again. I really appreciate your perspective.
Yes, sir. Bye.
All right, y'all. All right, Nisha. So, what you got to say, girl?
Lots, but y'all been on here for almost 2 hours. As far as what do you want to talk about? How about this? How about that?
No, you've been watching. I know you've been in the comments, just whatever. Like it's just like you like. I gotta say something. Go ahead.
In regards to communication, the only difference that I've learned now is that sometimes people, when they communicate with you, is based off their interest, and if they're not communicating with you in the way that you think they should, based off your interest, then there might not be any interest at all. That's a hard lesson that I've learned. And then I also realized that when, for example, when someone's doing something consistently for you, like sending you text messages or doing the things that you like, I think sometimes as women, we don't communicate that we're missing that well. We'll usually hit them with the, oh, you're not texting me in the morning like you used to, or you're not texting me good night like you used to. I've also realized that sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Mm-hmm.
In my dating experience, I'll say most recently, I had a guy, he would send me a text message in the morning, every day, good morning, how you doing? At night, how are you doing? How do you feel about what you saw? Because I'm way into politics, you know how I feel. Instead of me like kind of attacking him, I'm like, hey, I miss how you used to, text me in the morning. I miss how you, used to do those things. I really wish you could do those things again. And he went right back on it.
That is beautiful.
So I think sometimes how we communicate our needs is very important, because sometimes you have to speak in a way that someone comprehends. And comprehend such a big part of communication. You can in 10,000 ways, and if they don't understand what you're saying or where you're coming from, it'll never be met. That's that I've learned. As far as you and this whole monogamous dating situation, D,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I should say it on the video or should I wait till I see you in person.
What, you about to whoop my ass or some shit? Like, talk your shit.
I think I'm conflicted because I used to date just like you used to. Like, let me date this one person, get to know who they are and what they're for, and they're not on that wavelength, even though they may appear that way, or maybe I think that they're their way, but that's really their prerogative. Like, not everybody dates the same way, and I honestly think you should date multiple people until someone shows you that they want to be exclusive with you. So if this person like isn't filling up your cup like you talked about earlier, then you need to go ahead and pour that out and try another cup so someone can pour back into you the way that you're pouring. And you can find, here's one thing I know about men. Oh man, a man knows very quickly if he wants to be, if he's interested in you and he wants to pursue you. So I know you can pick up as a man because you've been dating for a while. We're almost 30. I'll be 30 in a month, Lord willing. That we know when someone is interested and we know when they're not interested. It is at that moment that you have to make a decision and dip. You know what? I'm calling her every morning. She's not calling me. I'll tell you one thing I definitely learned. If you're not doing the things that I'm doing, because I don't expect anything out of anyone that I wouldn't do, that means that, okay, you know what? You're not interested. You may want to explore other things. Let me go ahead and give you that time to do that. And let me pursue someone else who's also interested on the same level or playing field that I am. It's not anything against you. Doesn't mean that you're not a bad person. Doesn't mean that you're a great man. It's just that you weren't a great man, you know, an option for that.
For
person.
you. Yeah.
For you. Exactly. Right. And another thing I've realized, I'm sorry, y'all, I had a lot to say.
Are you a Libra?
I am a Libra. How did you know?
Yeah, I was about to say, you're giving me my energy. I really appreciate that for you.
You know, that's weird. You know, as far as like reciprocating energy and things of that nature, one thing I have learned is the pattern of my dating. What is my pattern style? Why am I coming across the same type of people and getting the exact same results? It could be the energy that you're portraying. Stop doing all these great things for people who aren't trying to do great things for you. It's too much. I've wasted so much money and time. You know the stories. Because I shared a couple thousand with you.
Not a couple thousand.
See, I learned that there was some pattern in my dating that needed to be destroyed so that I can apply myself in a better way, so that I could attract better energy. And let me tell you something, I have attracted better energy by changing the way that I approach dating.
How you yes.
So let me say this real quick. So I also, just like you, I've also used to date multiple women. You know what I'm saying? But I looked at, I realized I probably should have started with this, because I have 3 stages. Okay, everybody in the comments on the show, keep up. 3 stages. Okay.
Number 1.
First one is talking. Bullshit. I don't consider it serious. You know what I'm saying? We meet, you know, we haven't established that, you know, we're into each other for real. Like, we still kind of gauging interest. You know what I'm saying? That's just where, like, you know, anybody can be there. Anybody could be in the you know, talking stage or whatever. Second stage is dating. There's only room for one woman in that stage. So I realized that some people call what I call talking, they call that dating. But I feel like I have I have a higher respect for what dating is. So I'm only doing like that level of dating with one person. You know what I'm saying? So the bullshit, like we might, like in the talking stage, we might link up. You know what I'm saying? Go out and get drinks or some shit. You know what I'm saying? We might even fuck a couple times. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, it's nothing consistent there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's no consistent mutual effort or reciprocation or energy, or, you know, it's just like we just tap dance around bullshitting. You know what I'm saying? But dating is like, yo, hold on. I see something in this woman. Like, I actually think like there may be a possibility that we have long-term compatibility. And I want to explore that further. I want to focus on her, get to know her without any distractions, and really put forth a true effort, be consistent with her, and really gauge, yo, could this shit potentially work? And then we date, and then if I feel as though, yo, nah, this her. Yup, this is the one. Then I'm asking you, you know what I'm saying, will you be my girlfriend? You know what I'm saying? And then I'm falling in love with you, and then I'm proposing, and then we get married, then we traveling the world, living a great life, taking pictures and shit, then we having some babies, you know what I'm saying, and all that shit. So it's like I'm not doing like when people say like, you know, they're entertaining people and stuff like that, or they're dating multiple people. Usually what they refer to as dating multiple people, I consider that like talking. And then you know what I'm saying, and then once they start dating one person or being exclusive, I feel like that's where I'm like actually dating. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not being like if we just bullshit, I'm not being consistent, bro. Like I'm not. I'm sorry. And people can feel however they want to feel about it. But in order to get my consistency, we have to be on the same page. There has to be mutual interest, mutual effort. That's what my standard is. And I don't give a fuck how nobody feel about it. No disrespect to anybody, but I don't give a fuck how nobody feel about it. That's just what my standard is. And I refuse to change it, because in the past, I used to do all types of shit. I used to be consistent for women, you know what I'm saying, that was dating multiple other guys. And you know what I'm saying, I used to be trying to compete and keep up and make sure I'm winning her interest and winning her over and shit. That shit got me nowhere. So I said, you know what? I'm not comfortable with this. I don't like this. I hate dating. I hate talking. I hate all this shit. So you know what? I'm going to change things to where I'm comfortable with it. And I'm going to engage with a woman who also is on that same page and that she's comfortable with it. And then we can just gel together. You know what I'm saying? If you date multiple guys, I'm not going to try to convince you to only be a monogamous dater. I'm not. I'm going to just say, you know what? Okay, cool. Well, we just aren't on the same page. And that's okay. That is perfectly fine. But like try to convert myself to being a guy that's in a rotation, and I know how it feels to be that guy, and I know I dislike that. No, I'm not doing it.
By rotation? What do you mean by rotation?
Like you date multiple guys.
That don't.
Hey, you know that shit is a rotation. Come on now.
It's not necessarily a rotation, though. I don't think of it in that way. I feel like when you're dating multiple people, it really kind of allows you an opportunity to not be like, okay, this is the one, and then kind of look past everything else because you're already so fully invested, or you put a bunch of energy into it. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's a rotation. Maybe different words, but it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's semantics. I look at rotation like, all right.
Question for you, based off those 3 stages, like where did it all go wrong then? Like, is it
like I don't think it's necessarily going wrong per se. I think it's just I date women and I realize, you know what, I don't feel as though we're compatible. Or she realizes, you know what, I don't feel as though we're compatible. Because I'm not for, like I said, I'm not for everybody. I'm not going to sit here and act like every time I date a woman, if it ends, it's because I said it ends. You know what I'm saying? It's just one woman that I can think of. Woo! Hey, I spent some time trying to like rebuild that shit, but she was like, "Nah, I'm over your ass." But I was like, "Nah, I really like you. Okay, I feel like you might be my future wife." But she was like, "Nah," you know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. And we dated monogamously. We had a great time, but she felt as though we were on 2 different pages, and I had to get the fuck over it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like, you know, I feel like a lot of people are just afraid to recognize that you're not compatible with everybody. You're not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not going to work with every single person that you meet just because they're attractive, just because they have a good job and they went to school. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't mean that y'all are compatible. You might find out one day that they're transphobic. You know what I'm saying? Or homophobic or some shit. And you like, well, shit. What if our future child comes home and says that they're, you know, transgender or homosexual? Now you have, well, that's how I think. You know what I'm saying? When I'm dating, I'm saying like if, like some people like, oh well, I ain't
your project manager because you're an Aquarius.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like yeah, I'm not gay, so I'm not offended. Like for me, but I'm thinking like, well, what if our future child comes home as gay? I'm gonna love my child regardless. But you clearly hate gay people, so I can't date you. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like that's just how I look at shit. So sometimes we just realize we're not compatible. Or if you like super religious, and I know that I have my certain views on religion, and you know, if you are upset by, you know, how I feel about religion, then you know, maybe we're not compatible. You know, it's just certain things like that.
Well, that's very interesting, to be honest. I think that, but we've also had this conversation though, as far as you possibly not communicating that you date monogamously, because I feel like that's very heavy to say. Because that also has a lot. I don't know if I'm dropping the right link. Can you drop the link real quick for Shine? Because he wants to hop on.
Oh, Shine, we getting ready to wrap up in a minute.
Oh, JK. Sorry.
Sorry, Shine.
But I feel like because I am also somebody who dates monogamously, but I also don't communicate that because it's not about them. It's about me personally, because I don't like to entertain multiple people at one time because I don't have enough capacity for that. But I also, the expectations that come with just the semantics of monogamy is a lot in the beginning.
And that's something that I have learned.
Okay, well, that means you want all my, because even in the comments, people have made it similar to exclusivity when it's not about being exclusive. It's just about my capacity at this moment. It's just, I just want to focus on one person at a time. And I choose to be with people who focus on one person at a time as well, because it communicates to me that you are dating with intention. Not saying that because you date multiple people, you don't date with intention, but I understand that our capacities align. So that's just where I'm comfortable, not because that is wrong that you do that. But for me, within dating monogamously, I don't care if you're dating somebody else, because I am who I am. And if you're interested, then you're going to be interested. And then when I feel like that interest is leveling off, then I'm going to, you know what I'm saying, fall off as well. Because I kind of feel like, just like Nisha, right? I don't want to say your name wrong. Nisha. Okay. Just like she was saying, like at a certain point, you attract the energy that you give out. So if my energy is just naturally, I don't have to communicate like, oh, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm about, so you got to match it too. If that's naturally who I am, then I'm going to receive that same energy back. Because the guy that, I'm dating right now, he's, what I'm saying, he's dating monogamously as well, and it has communicated his intentions and things like that as well. But I also didn't say that. But at the same time too, it's like, that doesn't mean I'm not, like, I be talking about to my friends every day, like, ooh, I seen this guy today, he was cute. Like, I seen this guy today, he was cute. You know what I mean? Because at the same time, we also aren't exclusive. So
and that is one thing
those are boundaries, and those are levels as well, because I don't feel like in the way that you're communicating that you date monogamously is not to being exclusive with someone, because that also comes with a different set of expectations. But we also can't ignore the semantics around monogamy. Like, that isn't just like a heavy word to be like, all right, I'm dating you.
I will
right now.
I will say, when I had first met my boyfriend, when we first started dating, we were just talking. Like, and I feel like it's similar to D, where it was like we were just talking, trying to get to know each other. And I remember, like, at one point he was like, "Are you dating anybody else?" And I was like, "No, I'm not dating anybody else." And he was like, "Okay, well, let's just agree to date exclusively," which is similar to the monogamous thing. I wasn't his girlfriend, but we had came to the agreement then that we were not going to actively seek out anybody else, and we were going to. I think more so it's the proactivity of it all. I don't think it's necessarily the reactivity. Like, for example, I think people sometimes sit there and they'll be like, oh, well, if I'm dating invest. With us, we were talking for maybe like a month and a half. And then it got to the point where it was like, are you dating anybody else? No. Okay. Yeah, neither am I. Let's just agree to not date anybody else until we figure out what it is that we're doing. And then from there, it turned into a relationship. And then we sat down and had the relationship conversation. But I can see what Dee is saying in the space of, like, some people just assume you're dating monogamously or talking or whatever. It is very semantical, but I do think there gets to a point in your dating life where you sit down and you have the conversation. Are you seeking anybody else out proactively? Like, are you on dating apps now? Are you doing these sorts of things? And then if they are not, then it's like, let's keep it that way, or I think I'm going to do it that way, or whatever I think I'm going to do. And then you guys get to that point where it's me and you dating exclusively or monogamously or whatever. And then from there, it turns into, okay, are we ready for a relationship? But I do think, and it was a very organic conversation. It wasn't so much of like he was going to sit down and talk me down to it, like, hey, but it was very much so like we were talking for a month, we were getting to know each other, a month and a half, we were vibing, and then all of a sudden he did hit me with the like, hey, are you dating anybody else? And I was like, no, I'm not. Then he hit me with like, do you want to date anybody else? I was like, no, I don't. He's like, so proactively, let's just focus on each other moving forward and see if each other moving forward are ready for a relationship. And then maybe like a couple months later, we got into a relationship. So I do see where Dee's coming from, how it can organically happen where you're talking to somebody for a little bit. You figure out, you do a little temperature check, figure out what they on. And then from there, be like, so let's just focus simply on each other. And then from there, let's get into a relationship if we decide that us focusing on each other makes sense, you know?
Right. And that's one thing that I have had to learn is just because my thought is people would just know what the fuck monogamous means, and apparently people don't. So I guess
it's just a heavy term.
No, I get it, but that's not my fault that you associate the heaviness with the fact that the word just means one. You know what I'm saying? So in understanding that, I'm like, okay, well now I'm like, all right, maybe I need to like how Maggie boyfriend approached it. That's literally,
by the way.
Oh, word. Well, shout out to bro, because that's literally how I like look at shit. I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm like, me and Shorty gonna be vibing. I might be texting other people, whatever. But you know what I'm saying? Eventually, I'm gonna get to the point where, like, okay, well,
clarify.
I want to date you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to court you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to court you, and I'm not doing that shit for just anybody. I'm not doing it for somebody that also is still entertaining other options, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So, you know what I'm saying? It's either you with that, like you're on that level, or you're not. And if you're not, it's okay. I'm not going to try to change you or nothing. Now, I'm not saying like I meet a girl today, like at the bar. Maybe I misspoke or something, but I'm not saying I meet you tonight at the bar tomorrow. Yeah, and then tomorrow I'm like, yo, you better only be talking to me. You like, I don't give a fuck. No, all your hoes dead. Like, I'm not saying that, you know what I'm saying? But like once, like if but like off the first day that we meet, I'm also not being like super consistent. I'm not putting in mad effort. I'm not trying to plan mad dates or nothing like that. Like I'm just, you know, we vibing, we getting to know each other, getting a feel.
And my question is for the people that, because you know, me and Dee been vibing on some air sign shit the whole night. My question is for the people who don't date exclusively, right? Like, for example, let's say you don't date exclusively. So let's say you're talking to somebody or whatever, you're talking to multiple people at once, right? And then you don't designate in the middle of the dating phase, like, hey, am I the only person you're dating? Am I the only person you're talking to? Let's just, you know, focus on each other until we figure out we're ready for a relationship. At what point does consistency come into play? Or are you just, because I know originally the conversation was about communication and somebody not meeting you where the communication starts, right? So for example, if you're not sure that you like someone, because that's what Dee was saying, is like, I talk to somebody, I give them a certain level of attention. We start dating, I give them hella attention. We're in a relationship, now it's responsibility and accountability. Now, at what point, for people who don't get to that point where they're dating exclusively, what point do you expect all of that consistency and that communication? So I think that's where me and Dee were coming from. It's like, when I'm just talking to you and I'm not particularly sure if I'm interested in you, then it's like, okay, but then I have heard people say like that communication is important for me to get to the point where I'm interested in someone. So at what point am I giving you hella attention, time, energy, and consistency, and we haven't even determined that we are dating each other exclusively yet? At what point do you want that progression to flow?
I think that it comes to a point where you have to take what somebody says and just kind of trust that, because I've like I said, I date one person at a time simply because that's what I have the capacity for, not because I'm not interested in dating multiple people, if that is making sense.
Yes, I want the hoes, I just can't handle them.
I can't handle the hoes, right?
But I don't even want to do that, because that takes a lot of energy at a certain point, because I have been at points recently where I'm texting 3, 4, 5 niggas, you know what I'm saying, communicating with 3, 4, 5 niggas at a time. I'm telling a nigga on the phone, oh wait, my mama calling me because I'm trying to see what this other nigga talking about, you know what I'm saying, and all this other shit or whatever. But it's like at a certain point, if somebody has communicated their intent, like they're like, I'm dating with intention and I am interested in you, taking that and honestly just trusting what somebody else is saying to you and not rooting all of your, like, not necessarily value, but not rooting all of their intention in that consistency, that early consistency or that early communication, and respecting their autonomy as an individual, because, and understanding that they can be serious about their dating life, but also realize that doesn't necessarily mean you. Back to the whole topic, that doesn't necessarily mean you, but at the same time, respecting and honoring that they said that they are moving with intention, and also within that, giving that same intention back, and being okay with it could possibly not work out, even though y'all are both being super intentional and being secure enough and that it may not work out, or being secure enough in that it may work out, and respecting that person and their space and their time and things like that, to allow them to get to that point with you, because you aren't somebody's end all be all. You know what I mean? Until they get to that point. And honestly, do you ever want to be somebody's end all be all? That's a lot. You know what I mean? Like, why do you got so much stake in that person? You know, it's not, I don't want to be your end all be all, but I do want to be like a major contributing factor to the way that, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. And I think overall it's honoring and respecting that autonomy of a person outside of yourself, because they are intentional doesn't mean that you are going to be that one.
Word. Yeah. That's real. Well, yeah. I definitely appreciate you ladies. This has been a phenomenal conversation. I appreciate everybody that is tuned in and commented. Shit got good today. Hey, this was a good conversation. So I definitely appreciate everybody. We're going to keep the conversation going backstage. I'm saying, so if you would like to hop on and join the party, definitely click on the link. I'm posting it right there. So if you want to hop on, continue the conversation with us, you are more than welcome. Just make sure you click that shit ASAP before the show ends, because I don't know if you'll still be able to click it afterwards. But make sure that y'all are subscribed to A Cold One Podcast on YouTube. Y'all see it scroll down there below. You can also type in youtube.com/A Cold One Podcast. And it looked like damn near everybody except for one person is watching on YouTube. So just click the fucking subscribe button. Click it. Like, click it. Click the subscribe button. And then click that little bell icon so you know when we going live. I definitely appreciate y'all. Please make sure you like the video, comment on it, let us know what you think, share it with your friends. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff. I appreciate all the love. Definitely make sure that y'all check us back out again on this upcoming Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. And we're gonna be right back at y'all with some more great content. What'd you say, Nia?
8 p.m. Central.
Yeah, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. You know
what is it? What is it? What is that called?
I don't. West. Oh, Pacific. 6 Pacific. What's the other one between Pacific?
Mountain.
Okay.
So that's only if you live in like Montana, though. Nobody else is Mountain Time. You got to really be a different type of person.
All right. So 6 p.m. every Tuesday and Thursday on Pacific time, 7 p.m. on Mountain time, 8 p.m. on Central time, and 9 p.m. on Eastern time. So, you know what I'm saying? We just all lives matter at the time. You know what I'm saying? So definitely appreciate everybody for tuning in. You know what I'm saying? Like, comment, subscribe, share, tell your baby mama, sister, cousin Tracy to come fuck with us this upcoming Tuesday, 9 p.m. If you want to hop on the call afterwards, you know what I'm saying, continue the conversation, you're more than welcome. And Nia, Maggie, I appreciate y'all as always. It's been fun. It's been great. And with that, we'll see y'all asses on this upcoming Tuesday. L Dottie will be back, man. So I see y'all.